What's up, everybody? Welcome to postseason basketball. Hope you had an awesome Thanksgiving week. My name is College Sports Revive, and I'm your host for today's episode of the College Hoops 2K Legacy Mode series featuring Coach Carter and his Fordham Rams. Last episode, we finished the final regular season episode of the series, finishing in second place in the A10, just a game behind Charlotte. Unfortunately, a late loss to UMass, it kind of jeopardized our chance at the regular season crown, but the path to defend our first conference title from a season ago is still well achievable. Here's how the A10 bracket is set up. We'll face the winner of either Temple or George Washington. We also have UMass on our half of the bracket, setting up what could be an electric rematch with the Minutemen in the semis. That is, if the favorites make it out of their first matchups unscathed. We've been following bracketology closely to end the season, as Fordham has been threatening a 1 seed in March for the first time ever here in year 6. The committee did project our Rams with a 1 seed at times in the previous installment, however that UMass loss dropped us down a tier, so we all but need this A10 title in order to secure our first ever top seed of Coach Carter's career. So not only will we be cheering on our Rams today, obviously, but we're going to be doing some box score watching of the other conferences as well, as Florida State owns the top overall seed at the moment, and they'll play either Miami or North Carolina in their first ACC tournament game, and number 4 Boston College will open against Virginia. And then over in the Big East, number 2 Cincinnati will kick things off against Providence. And as we sim ahead, we see that hailing from Philadelphia, it's the Temple Owls who won their first round game and will provide the first challenge for the Fordham Rams here in the conference tournament. The last time we played the Temple Owls, they nearly pulled off the second half comeback upset, so we'll see what they have up their sleeve today, trying to knock off the 6th ranked Fordham Rams. And we're going to be playing the entire conference championship today, and Selection Sunday will be included here in this episode, so win or loss, we're going to be finding out our answer today on who and when Fordham will be playing in March. And like always, Lloyd Hicks wins the tip. We get the first rights to the basketball, and against this 2-3 zone, we give it to our potential A10 Player of the Year hopeful Hicks. He'll kick it out to Pat Park, and the high bounce off the rim goes down for him. Hicks with the assist, and we get the first basket of the game. However, these first couple minutes not exactly going our way. We try a little man-to-man here on this possession. Obviously, you know that we have seen Fordham play plenty of defensive schemes and different strategies on that side of the floor, but Isaiah Beecham with the tip in on the weak side, lazy close out there and box out by the team, and then a turnover by Kai Hendry as he checks in quickly from Elvin Brewers. So these first couple minutes not going our way. We go back into the 2-3 zone, nearly get the steal, but Musa Colbert, the top scorer on the season for the Temple Owls, still gets it to drop at the end of the day. Top scorer on the year. He did foul out really quick in the last meeting in the regular season, the one we simulated against the Temple Owls, only played 7 minutes. That put a big damper into their comeback hopes, as Kai Hendry with the pick and pop between him and Damian Carter ties it up at 15 apiece. Sim had a couple minutes though, as both teams kind of in an offensive lull here with 6:46 left to go. And how about Damian Carter setting up the high to low? It's Junior to Nick Jallo as the bench unit playing some good minutes here. The two top guys in the 2-3 zone for Temple really closed out strong there and cheated. Tried to trap there with Damian, and that opened up everything else to work seamlessly. Good heads-up play there by our backup center, Junior Battle. Under 5 to play, got the biggest lead of the game so far for Fordham. It's only been 4. Tay Angerson trapped in the post. Kick out. It's Koulibaly, and he'll get the roll to go. So another 3 goes for Temple, and they look like they're one of the more prepared teams against this 2-3 zone. You guys know that a lot of the time, whenever we're playing how we want it, we have these teams shooting outside, taking bad jump shots, and opening up the floor for us in transition as they get another basket there. That's Tay Angerson, their center, with the basket down low. But Temple looks really prepared to play against it today as Hicks is trapped. Over to Hendry looking for three-pointer number 2, and he gets it to go. Another lead change here in the first half. Hendry's going to be trying to have a short memory of that loss to UMass, the last big game he played in. Only had 1 field goal, and he missed a potential game-tying 3 as time expired. So he's doing a good job having a short memory of that one. And it's Pat Park with the dribble drive opening things up on the other side of the floor. It's Lloyd Hicks with the 10-foot baby J. He's got 9, and he's been doing a good job adjusting his play against his 2-3 zone. Obviously, he can't post up as much against the zone, so he's been doing a good job taking the looks when he gets them. 3 seconds to go, up by 2. Damian Carter, kick out. It's Timo from the left corner. Can't keep Timo Cruz off the floor recently. He had 14 points on senior day in only 11 minutes as he took over the show in that win against St. Joseph's last episode. And like I said, that man right there, Coach Carter, just can't keep his former high school shooting guard off the floor right now. So we'll jump to the second half, and we got to give Temple a lot of credit, man. They're in here, they're playing a game, they're showing up here in the postseason tournament with how deep this A10 conference has been throughout the lifespan of this series. No surprises there as Temple knocks down another three to retake the lead. They shot 5 of 12 from three. In the first half, there's Vic Trudeau dropping one in on his 4th attempt. So the Owls, again, up by 2. And continue to pack it in again with this zone. Kai Hendry, quick trigger finger continues all night long, man. He has been just catching and firing, no hesitation, not letting that rough game last episode get to him. 11-17 left to play, trying to avoid the first round upset. Lloyd Hicks doubled. Hendry, foot on the line, cashes in again. And Hicks with his 3rd assist. He's been seeing the floor well from the low post. And Hendry with 15, he's the game's top scorer. Fordham up by 3 with some subs coming in, so a big chunk of the bench coming in and playing with Kai Hendry and Damian Carter, as Hendry is off on the free throw, but Junior Battle, who has played an excellent game off the bench, he drops in 2 more off of the offensive rebound. We're out rebounding Temple by 5 at the break. Now here's Jacob Villegas trying to put the moves on Nick Jallo, and he gets rejected, as I believe Jallo got a piece of that. Gets the rebound, and Hendry, oh no, nobody's closing out on him. How can you forget about the hottest player on the floor right now? 4 of 5 from 3. Hendry is dialed in right now, and it's awesome to see after that big game against UMass didn't go his way. But Temple still hungry here, still only down by 4. They're within striking distance, and check out Timo Cruz. Now getting some run here in a big moment. 4:40 to go behind the back dish. It's Timo Cruz and Junior Battle linking up for a big basket there to increase the lead to 6. Battle is just right now playing at the top of his game, and whenever Lloyd Hicks hits the bench and you got a kid like this who can come in and play like this, I'm telling you, that is a big asset to us. But then he gets fooled on the other end. He wastes no time there, as Musa Colbert now has an even 20 points, retaking the top scoring title away from Kai Hendry in this one, as we call a timeout, get our starters back in here with 3:18 left to play. 67-63, still well in the balance. Pat Park wanting to ISO here against Vic Trudeau. Hop step, cuts him off, bounce pass, Hendry, book it. Yes, he's got 3 more. 22 on the night. And he just can't miss right now. If Hendry's going to play like this, man, we're going to be the favorites in March Madness this season. Jacob Villegas baseline, trying it again, and he's rejected again. It's Kai Hendry out of all players with the block, the smallest man on the floor. And now the 6-man meter maxed out, up by 7, and Damian Carter's got the isolation opportunity as he leaves the big man in the dust. All Fordham here in the final couple minutes. As Temple, they were like that younger brother that wants to, play with you and your boys out, play some hoops with you, and you're just like, nah, go away. Don't want to hang with you. Go get lost. Go get some other friends. That's kind of how they were like tonight. They just would not let up the gas and, give this win easily, but we do end up winning 76-67. So at the end of the day, we do take care of business, and we go on to advance to the conference semifinals as Kai Hendry scores 22 in the win. They did give us a fight. That shouldn't be the surprise of anybody with how deep this conference can be. But now we're going to wait the winner of Dayton, 11th ranked UMass. So Damian Carter, 5 and 6, 11 from Pat Park, and 14 and 11 for Lloyd Hicks. Did a good job against the zone, only missing 2 shots, but obviously the star of the night. Kai Hendry, 22, 2 assists, 5 of 6 from 3. But check out this bench. You got 4 from Tariq Porter, 7 from Nick Jallo, 5 from Timo Cruz, and 4, 3, and 2 from Junior. Just awesome job by the bench unit. They kept us in the game in the first half and really let us give us some time to get our things sorted out. Only turned the ball over 3 times in the second half. All in all, it was a much better played game down the stretch for Fordham, as Musa Colbert leads Temple with 20 tonight. Hope you guys enjoyed the way I edited that game. We got 3 games potentially to get to today, so definitely got to just show the best parts and be really snappy with my editing today. But let's find out. 11 UMass or Dayton? Who's going to be our semifinal matchup? As we sim ahead there you have it. The Minutemen will be joining Fordham in the semis off the heels of a dominant win. Huge second half with the typical guys leading the way for the Minutemen. Keelan Michelle, Keytron Parker, Albert Verdeo, and Art Moritz all reached double digits in this one. And thus, our bottom half of the tournament was pretty chalk. The two favorites playing in the semis, but how about the top half? Well, wasn't quite as chalk, as number 3 Charlotte, a 1-seed hopeful in March, upended by St. Louis. The Billikens came into the tournament as one of the coldest teams in the conference, but they look ready for the moment. A slim win in round 1 against the Bonnies, and now Charlotte's going to be on the chopping block for the 1 seeds. So what's the secret behind St. Louis turning the tides and playing their best basketball down the stretch? Well, it's Henry Conran. Remember, when we dominated the Billikens last episode, Conran was missing a big chunk of his season due to an injury, but now the 91 overall shooting guard is back in the lineup, making this a different team, and they'll play Duquesne, who upset St. Joe's in the second round for a chance at the title game. The Billikens help us out. That loss probably takes Charlotte out of the running for a 1 seed, and now we control our own destiny against the Minutemen. The last time we saw them, it resulted in one of our 3 losses here on the season. They played at a white-hot tempo, and it was one of the few times we've seen the Fordham Rams a bit overwhelmed at times during that game, albeit we were a missed 3-point shot away from forcing overtime. And looking at the Big East, Cincinnati sneaks by Providence by 4. They almost met the same fate as Charlotte, so no help there. And in the ACC, the top-ranked Seminoles will open with a rival game against Miami as they took down UNC in round 1. Well, here we go, guys. This was the rematch we desperately wanted after they upended us on our home floor last episode, losing that game by a missed 3-point shot. And here we go. We get the UMass Minutemen back here in the semifinals. And Damian Carter taking no prisoners right out of the opening tip. He goes all the way on Keytron Parker for a quick 2 points. Love the aggressiveness coming out, firing on all cylinders. And here comes UMass on the other end for their first possession. This is basically like a home game for them. We're here in Worcester, Massachusetts, which is about an hour and some change from their campus, but it's dribbled off the foot of Keelan Michelle. Damian Carter with the lob to Melvin Brewer, who's trying to put that first round game in the rearview mirror. He failed to score last game, but he gets on the board here early. And here with 12 minutes to go, he's still on the floor. Keelan Michelle, no good, as he was actually the top player in the conference scoring-wise when we played them last, but he struggled against us. Pat Park turns and fires with the 7-foot Tanner English trying to close out to no avail. Tough 3-pointer made, but it goes. But Keelan Michelle bodying his way through Lloyd Hicks, no good, as Lloyd Hicks turns him away. A block shot and then a miss. So look at the way Fordham's playing here in the early goings. Love what we're seeing from our guys. Forcing another miss here. UMass not scoring at the same clip as they were last time out. And then Pat Park all the way. The Philly boy has put the Fordham Rams on his shoulders here in the early goings. We've got 20, and he's got 12 of that, nearly outscoring UMass here in the opening minutes with the free throw, but he'll check out. So let's see, with some new faces out on the floor, will the Fordham Rams be able to continue to score without the man that's completely locked in right now? As Tanner English, no good, but Keelan Michelle off the weak side. He misses another gimme. But he just looks different when he plays against the Fordham Rams, as he struggled in the last meeting. Hendry to the mid-range sniper. Nick Jallo, but he can't get it to go as we're going through a bit of a cold stretch here with no Pat Park on the floor. This is what I was kind of afraid of. As UMass trying to get it down to a 1-possession game. Keelan Michelle, again, no good. And this is kind of how it's been for both teams in the last few minutes. Hendry trying to keep the momentum going as he now misses a layup. Just back and forth. Pace of this game still as fast as it was in the first meeting, but these offenses just don't look as good as whenever we played in the Bronx a couple weeks back. Art Moritz for 3. Yes, he got it. Dangerous shooter, Art Moritz, as he gets the 3-pointer to drop. And now UMass with their first lead on the game. Pat Park couldn't keep him off the floor for long as he's back in with Timo Cruz, Melvin Brewer, and our starting front court. It's Binkala, backdoor feed. Pat Park, yes! Another 3-point play for the Philly boy. Project Pat. They can't keep him off the scoring column as he makes another trip to the line in search of point number 16, and he gets to go. But who will be able to help him out? That is the name of the game right now. As 2 of the top 8 offenses in the country not looking the part so far, both teams shooting in the low 40%. And Pat Park's got 18 out of our 29. So that tells you something. We really stress spreading out the attack, and we have so many weapons to do it. But only 4 guys got into the scoring column. Obviously, Pat Park with 18, and Lloyd Hicks hasn't even scored yet. When's the last time we've seen him go a half without a basket? Well, we're trying to get him involved here. One-on-one, back into Tanner English, but he leaves it too strong. English collects, and UMass is what they do the best. Keytron Parker couldn't get the charge drawn by Damian, but we do stop it. Hicks grabs rebound number 7. Hendry trying to play like he did last episode there. He gets to go with the quick trigger finger, and on his third three-pointer attempt, 3rd time's the charm. Minutemen still up by 3. Parker pounding the rock, but we turn him away as UMass throws their 6th turnover, and Kai Hendry glides up, and he'll get 2 more to go. Definitely need number 44 to get more involved, man. As you saw, he was the X factor against Temple. Maybe he's the guy who can help Pat Park in the scoring column. Wow, that one's deflected by Damian. Might have touched the roof, but he grabs it, and he's got the run out. Damian playing a great game, and I haven't given him his flowers in this one. He had that awesome crossover to layup combo to begin the game, and he's been pretty steady so far as well. He's the 2nd leading scorer for Fordham with 9. The Rams trying their best to defend their A10 title from a season ago. 5 seconds to go on this possession. Pick and roll Damian to Benepin Kala. Love the ingenuity there with the shot clock winding down. Time out, UMass. We got the lead still, but the Minutemen not going anywhere. As Lloyd Hicks again can't get it to go. His bread and butter has not been all that kind to him today, but Melvin Brewer closes down the break. That has been the biggest thing we've made a focal point on today, not letting UMass beat us in transition. And Lloyd Hicks, finally. It's been way too long that we've gone without a basket from Lloyd Hicks, and finally on his 7th attempt, he is in the scoring column for the first time tonight. It's not going to help his Player of the Year campaign, but hey, we got the 5-point lead, and finally get him his first basket. The Shields trapped on the low block. Keytron Parker, no good, but Tanner English fighting inside, and he finally gets to go. He's been a thorn in our side today, as UMass was out rebounding us at the break, and Tanner English is closing in on a double-double. That's the one thing you got to kind of give up sometimes, is the rebounding when you play a lot of zone like we do. And dropping it off is Hicks. Back out to Hendry. Need this one. No, can't get it to drop. And let's see, even numbers for UMass, but they still drop in 2 more. It is DeShields, Damian DeShields, their Josh Hart type player, with 2 big points there. Now we're into 2 to play. The winner of this one will face either St. Louis or Duquesne. What do we got on offense this time? Pat Park been a little quiet as of recent. Can't get it to go there on the baseline. So now a couple possessions that have came up empty for Fordham, and now UMass has gotten their way back into the game. 6 unanswered for the Minutemen. Albert Verdeo baseline takes advantage of the slower Benepin Kala, and the Minutemen have turned it around on us. They got the lead now, and now the pressure swings to the Fordham Rams. What do they got under their belt? Coach Carter, what is he going to call? 10 seconds on the shot clock. Pat Park, hottest player today for us. Crossover, double comes, bounce pass, Hicks, yes! Drops it in from the block, big time there. And Park's got 6 assists to go along with the scoring output. Awesome game there from the Philly boy. And Hicks, almost got the steal. It was Damian who almost got a hand on that one. They're curling it for Keelan Michelle, who struggled today again. He'll try to power his way past Pinkala to no avail. Tanner English, it's off the iron. And UMass surprisingly won't play it out. They elect to foul here, and we'll take it down to 12 seconds to go as we send Damian, the top free throw shooter on the team. 83% on the season. That's top 10 in the conference. Good on the front end. And here with the second free throw to make it a 3-point game. The coach's kid comes through. He's in double figures, and we need 1 stop to make it to our 2nd straight A10 championship game. 9 seconds to go. High post Michelle. Kick out Verdeo for 3. No! But it's English. Back out to Verdeo for the tie. No! English gets it again, but the clock runs out. The clock runs out, and UMass falls short of 2 straight wins against the Fordham Rams, and the Rams will be moving on to the A10 championship game in heart-stopping fashion. Wow. Man, what a game. a top 11 matchup, and it was all as advertised. The offenses weren't at the same level as we normally see them. This is 2 top 10 offenses in the country, but Pat Park put us on his back today. Damian Carter with one of his best games, 13-3 and a career-high 5 steals. Can't believe we still got this win without Lloyd Hicks really looking like himself. He had only 5 points, and it took him a half and a half to score there. And we only shot 3 of 13 from the floor, but we forced UMass into 11 turnovers. They only shot 3 of 14 on their end from 3. And the guys that killed us last time just didn't have that same output today. Really did a good job just stopping the break. And it's kind of karmic justice that they lost this game the same way we lost the last meeting against the Minutemen. So we survived some close calls en route to our second straight championship game, and we're going to play, drum roll please, the St. Louis Billikens in the final round. And these guys are not short on reasons to be hungry for this upset. When you look at their schedule, it's pretty clear to see how valuable Henry Conran is. They lost him in that Rhode Island game as we look at their schedule and proceeded to lose their next 7. Then they got him back for the George Washington loss, but then rattled off 5 straight wins, bringing them into the title game. St. Louis is a very hungry team, clearly. They've been known to get beat early in the A10 tournament in this series, even in their best seasons. So they're trying to get over that hump today. And as a current bubble team for March, they all but need this title game victory to play in the NCAA tournament. Well, here we go, guys. One last championship game as Coach Carter looks to end his Fordham tenure on a high note. It's our 3rd appearance in the championship. We made it once in year 3. That was our first Cinderella run where we lost to Xavier in the title game last year, which was the prelude to our national title run, and now here in year 6. And Coach Carter and his boys go off of one last A10 championship as we try to capture our first 1 seed of the series. Here we go. At number 24, that's the man to watch, Henry Conran. Here we go, ball on the deck, slicing up our zone like nothing. And it's pretty clear to see just how competitive this team is. The record without him, 2-7. With him, 18-5 for a 20-12 record. St. Louis, they've just been different with this man back in the lineup. And here we go, skip pass. Melvin Brewer's been a little quiet during the A10 championship game, but there we go, finally a highlight for our first 5-star freshman of the series. Everything on the line tonight. St. Louis needs this to make the NCAA tournament, and we need this to capture that 1 seed we're so hungry for. And we're off to a nice start here. 11 points in our first 10 minutes. Kai Hendry gets 1 to go, and we are definitely spreading out the attack a lot better than we did against Temple. Don't need Pat Parker, just 1 player carrying us here in this one as Conran from the elbow. He hit that first basket, but it's been a little quiet recently. And Timo Cruz out on the break. Gotta look for him if you want a 3-point bomb. And the Cruz missile knocks it down, and then a steal on the break. Damian Carter resets it to Timo, and 5 points back to back for the Cruz missile as he heats up. Man, he is going to be a secret weapon in March, man. These other schools, they just haven't seen him yet. He really didn't play much in that title run a season ago. Trying to run a pick and roll, 2 freshmen here to report a good defense by St. Louis, but Timo Cruz walks into a free throw line extended jump shot, and another basket goes for the talented former Richmond High School 2-guard, and a steal by Timo as well, deflected by Melvin Brewer, and he'll dunk 1 down. And Fordham putting their foot on their necks early. It's an 11-point advantage for the Rams. And check out Coach Carter. He's in it, man. He look at him from the sideline. He can feel it. He wants that second title here in his A10 Fordham tenure. And we're still in control, 29-20, 3:10 left to go, and another pass is picked off as St. Louis has had problems taking care of the basketball tonight. And Timo, he's up to 10 in the first half. And another steal here, thanks to our full court press. Man, the things that St. Louis didn't do well last time he played them in that blowout last episode, they're falling victim to it again. They're just settling for jump shots again and again and not taking care of the ball. That's resulted in only 22 points for them. Meanwhile, Fordham continues to put things on cruise control. Assist by Damian. Lloyd Hicks has 6. And perhaps we're looking for one more basket before we head into the locker room. Already up by 14. What do we got here? 4 seconds to go. Hendry crossover, blocked by the point guard, Nelke. But it's given off to Lloyd Hicks as the shot clock expires. Hendry with his 4th assist, and how about Lloyd Hicks from 16 feet out? Right now, Fordham just can do no wrong against these St. Louis Billikens. 38-22 is your score, 57% versus 29%, and not one trip to the free throw line for St. Louis. Like I said, it's just the same things that really plagued them last time out, and it hasn't looked like they've worked on their zone offense at all because they're content with just firing off jump shots over and over, man. And that's what happened last time, and it's happening again here. And if they want to play into that, I mean, that's fine with us. That's why we play that zone. So we turn it over on our first possession, and St. Louis comes out and makes the first 2 baskets of the second half. So we'll see if the Billikens can actually play and show up here in the second half of action. Damian Carter, bounce pass. Wow, he threaded the needle with his offhand. No good, but the tip-in goes thanks to the senior Bennett Pincala. 6 points for him. He's had a quietly good A10 tournament. You guys know Pincala, not a guy who's going to light up the highlight reel, but a super solid glue guy that every coach wants as he plays his last couple games with the other senior, Kai Hendry. Trapped inside. It's 2 more, maybe 3 more from Bennett Pincala as Lloyd Hicks. Check this out, the footwork. He is just so polished for his size, using the pivot to create the angle. That is just excellent offensive execution right there. Big man to big man. And Bennett makes it double digits as he knocks in the free throw. So Pincala enjoying his night tonight. Biggest lead of the entire tournament, actually, for Fordham here in the championship game, up by 19. This is just not a good matchup for St. Louis. And yeah, that's going to be about as easy as it gets as the point guard, Antoine Nelke. No answer there for the 7-footer Hicks. And Fordham about to win their 31st game of the season. Oh my goodness, Lloyd Hicks, or rather Timo Cruz trying to have some fun out there. And he's lucky he doesn't get benched for that one. Henry Conran, haven't heard of him much, and for good reason. He does make the 3 there, we give him 12, but he'll finish his day shooting 2 for 11 from 3. So even Conran did not look prepared to play against this zone defense. And Fordham kind of eased off the gas there at the end. 65-52 is your final, and the Fordham Rams are the A10 champions back-to-back seasons heading into the final March Madness of this legacy mode. Pat Park is your player of the game. He was one of 3 players who finished with 10 points for Fordham, so you really could have given it to a laundry list of guys tonight. Him, Bennett, and Lloyd Hicks, all with 10, all doing different things tonight. And honestly, everyone who checked in had a pretty good game. Kai Hendry, I know, was only 3 for 10, but he passed the ball excellent tonight. And how about Timo? He's putting on quite the show here in the A10 title game, and we're definitely going to have to give him some burn there in the March Madness run. As for St. Louis, it was just the same things that plagued them last time. They shot 6 of 30 from 3. They were just fine letting it fly again. They didn't do anything different since the last matchup. And Henry Conran shot 5 of 21. So he really ended up hurting them more than helping. So yeah, St. Louis probably has their March Madness hopes dashed with this loss. And I feel for them. You know, they lost their best player for a lot of the season, but they did have a chance to get it done tonight. But again, they just didn't do anything different from the last time we played them. So played into our hands perfectly. And now, with the championship banner added to the rafters, Selection Sunday has arrived. You got to think Fordham has a pretty bulletproof case for a 1 seed. 31 wins, that's the most in college basketball this season. Undefeated in a tough non-con slate and the conference title. Cincinnati all but guarantees a top seed after cruising to their Big East title. As we look around at the other conference tournaments, they dominated Notre Dame. Florida State does go down to the 25th ranked Clemson Tigers, but the issue is the Seminoles have been ranked number 1 for weeks now, so that might not even knock them down a peg. So the drama's at an all-time high. All the conference championships wrapping up. Gotta love it. That's what college hoops is all about. And now the committee's opinion will be the only one that matters. I'm going to turn it over to the late, great Greg Gumbel for our final Selection Sunday of the Fordham Rams era of this legacy mode. Take it away, Greg.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Greg Gumbel at the anchor desk with my partner Clark Kellogg, bringing you the 2K Sports NCAA Selection Show. Before we get into the brackets for the upcoming tournament, let's take a look at the final top 25 media poll. There's at least one change in the rankings to tell you about. The Clemson Tigers jumped all the way from the number 25 spot to number 18.
They're peaking at just the right time, Greg. This is exactly the way you want to be playing going into the tournament.
The media rankings are what everyone's been following for the last 4 months, but in just a minute, the selection committee's everybody's opinion is going to be the only one that matters. Florida State Seminoles are the top overall seed, and they will play in the East Regional. They begin the tournament as the dominant team in college basketball. They've been ranked number 1 in the media poll for the past 7 weeks. Let's see if they can live up to everyone's expectations. On to the second number 1 seed, who will play in the South Regional. The Cincinnati Bearcats are seeking their 3rd NCAA championship in school history. The Fordham Rams are our 3rd number 1 seed, and they'll play in the Midwest Regional. They're back in the tournament again, and no doubt they'll be feeding off the experience of last year's appearance as they try to get to the Final Four this year. And finally, our 4th number 1 seed will play in the West Regional. The Boston College Eagles are in the tournament field as a number 1 seed for the first time in the history of their program. Now, here's how the brackets shape up based on where the number 1 seeds have been assigned. Any surprises in there for you, Clark?
I don't think I'm alone in my surprise with these picks. Whenever you reach this far down the poll for the top seeds, you're guaranteed to have some second guesses coming your way.
So, with the number 1 seeds out of the way, it's finally time to tackle the rest of the brackets. First up, we take a look at the East Regional. Next up, we'll take a look at the South Regional. On to our 3rd bracket of the day. Let's take a look at the Midwest Regional. The Fordham Rams are the top seed, finishing at 31-3. They were conference tournament champions in the A10. They'll take on the Red Hawks of Miami of Ohio, the number 16 ranked team. This is their 18th appearance in the NCAA tournament in school history. Our number 8 seed is from the ACC. The Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets were rewarded for their outstanding play this season with an at-large bid and a ticket to the big dance. They're going to play the number 9 seed, the Hofstra Pride, who finished 2nd in their conference tournament, finishing at 28-6. The Western Kentucky Hilltoppers are in as the number 5 seed. They'll be taking on the number 12 seed, the Miami Hurricanes, with 20 wins. Houston enters the field as the number 4 seed from Conference USA. This will be their 23rd appearance all-time in the NCAA tournament. They'll be getting ready to face the number 13 seed, the UC Irvine Anteaters, finished the season with 19 wins.
The Houston Cougars will be an extremely dangerous team in this tournament, mainly because they have such terrific veteran leadership. Coaches love when they have guys on the floor that have been around the block a few times because they don't get rattled. They play with composure. I look at the experience of this team as something that could put them over the top.
Syracuse comes in as the number 6 seed, finishing at 24-8. And they take on the 11th seed from the Big 12, the Kansas State Wildcats, with 21 wins. And now the number 3 seed, the Texas Tech Red Raiders, come into the tournament after finishing 2nd in their conference during the regular season and were winners of their conference tournament. They are going to play the number 14 seed, the Southern Utah Thunderbirds, who came in 1st in their conference tournament, finishing at 19-10. Next up is the number 7 seed. The Wisconsin-Milwaukee Panthers are the conference tournament and regular season champions from the Horizon League. They'll be going up against the number 10 seed, the North Carolina Tar Heels, with 18 wins. They return once more to the very familiar surroundings of the NCAA tournament. Charlotte comes in as the number 2 seed, finishing at 26-5. Grambling comes in to face them at number 15 with 18 wins in the tournament and regular season championships of the Southwestern Athletic Conference. There are going to be some incredible matchups in the later rounds of this bracket. If the top seeds can avoid the early upsets, we can look forward to some real heavyweight battles. And finally, let's have a look at the West Regional. What are your thoughts on our top 16 seeds, Clark?
Clemson surprised me with their seed. I thought their performance this season would put them in as a 4 seed. Fordham is the softest of the top seeds. I'm not going to say exactly when they'll go down, but if I had to pick a number 1 team that won't be at the Final Four, it would be them.
Now that we know all the teams and matchups, time to get the tournament underway and let the madness take over.
Greg, let's throw the ball up right now. I can't wait to get started. I hope this is an NCAA tournament that gives a lot of those special moments that stay with us for years to come.
For my partner Clark Kellogg and for all of us here in the 2K Sports Studios, I'm Greg Gumbel. Thanks for joining us on the NCAA Selection Show.
And there it is, guys. Coach Carter is officially the owner of a top-seeded team in March Madness for the first time, which is also a legacy achievement. So Coach Carter will be getting an attribute upgrade opportunity because of that 1 seed. And in this wild region that we're in, we got to take a look at it. If we beat Miami of Ohio in round 1, we'll face a guaranteed rival in round 2. Either Georgia Tech, who knocked off Coach Carter in his final year back at UT Martin, or Hofstra, who we've faced 3 times in this series. Syracuse, we've also seen plenty of as well. They beat us on a buzzer beater in the tournament 1 year. Milwaukee was our second round matchup last year. And how about Charlotte as the 2 seed in our region? We have the possibility of facing some rivals all throughout this region, loading up for what could be an incredible final tournament for the Fordham Rams. Here's a look at the overall bracket. Florida State is the most popular pick to win it all. Despite their early ACC exit, they've been ranked number 1 for weeks now in a loaded conference. UMass earns a 4 seed in the West and will take on our former team, UT Martin. Boy, that would be sweet to see them shock the Minutemen. Overall, I think the draw we got was pretty solid. The 2 seed of our region is a team that we have a win against this season in Charlotte. Western Kentucky and Houston are the most likely Sweet 16 opponents we'll see. I am a little scared of Georgia Tech, however. They have won 2 titles since the very beginning of this legacy mode. Did you guys hear Clark Kellogg during the selection show? He had some not so nice things to say about Fordham. He said he thinks we're going to be the number 1 seed to go down first in this tournament this season. That's a little disrespectful for the defending champs, if you ask me. But anyways, we did it, everyone. A top seed, a decent draw, and back-to-back champion expectations will meet us next episode. I'm thinking of making the entire region an episode of its own, and barring an upset, I'm going to leave the Final 4 as the grand finale. Win or lose, this legacy mode's been so much fun over the past few years. If you made it this far, I hope you've enjoyed the ride, and I hope you stay tuned for one last tournament run with Coach Carter before jumping to a new school next season. I'll see you on the other side, guys. Stay tuned. Hope you're excited for March Madness. One more for the road. I'm going to be signing out for today. Hope you have a great day. Hope you had a great holiday season. Hope you're staying warm out there. I'm College Sports Revive signing out, and I'll see you next time. Peace out, everyone.